So the exact opposite happened for this podcast that I'm doing right now, which was I was going to really plan this out, and I was going to have notes and be ready to go, and the exact opposite has happened. I waited until literally the last possible moment of the day on Monday where I could do this, and it's just increasing my feeling of failure and my feeling of fatigue and depression, and it's causing a tremendous amount of anxiety by just describing this. But I'm saying to myself, no, I've got to keep doing this. I've got to keep doing this for the one person in Spain who has been dutifully listening to this, who may just be a bot, but you know what? Bots need to be entertained too. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do today. Welcome to the Josh Cast. I've been listening to a lot of other podcasts, and I got so many ideas that I'm not utilizing. I just took a swig of my. I don't like the word swig. I don't like that I use that word. I don't like the word. I took a swig of soda. It wasn't soda. It was tea. Emperor's Cloud hot tea from Starbucks. I took a sip. I took a drink. Those are fine, but swig, I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of the swig. Yeah, I took a swig of the juice. That's what I did. Took a swig of the juice. A swig of the good stuff. And I went out my truck and I drove through Omaha, drove through Dallas, drove through Westchester, drove through Riverside, drove through the Adirondacks. Just kept driving, man, just driving. Taking a swig of my soda while I drove, looking at the stars, thinking about all the love I've lost, all the men I've beaten, all the women I've cried in front of. That's what I think of when I hear the word swig, and that's why I want nothing to do with it. That's why I never want to use that word again, because I just think of Grandpa Jim, who's, I don't know where he's driving. He's hitting a lot of places. Why is CNN? I'm going to CNN.com, and they're just going to do 24-hour coverage of the Electoral College vote. You know what I find hilarious is that CNN is accusing Trump of being a drama queen about this election, but CNN is also like all the other media, is kind of also being a drama queen about it. Like, oh my God, come watch Trump be a drama queen. Well, you're being a drama queen by pointing out that Trump is being a drama queen, which makes me hate all of it equally. And that's where I can feel superior to everyone else. I hate all of it. I hate everyone. Every side. I didn't necessarily... Well, if I opened up CNN.com without doing any planning, how am I not expected to get political? But we don't need to figure out exactly how many nose hairs each electoral college person has as they are voting. We get it. It's happening. Everything's fine. Somehow everything, knock on wood, poo, with the electoral process turned out. The system works. I mean, was there widespread voter fraud? No. The system worked in that very, very rich interests put a ton of money into their candidates, and those candidates won. So there's the conspiratorial voter fraud, and then there's the actual voter fraud that I think has always been there, which is it's all going the way the rich people want it to go. So I'm glad we're focused on the voter fraud that didn't happen, so that we can not be focused on the voter fraud that is always happening. And we're really accomplishing a lot here with that. We are. But I don't want to get depressing. So it would probably be more interesting if I just talked about my own depression, because when I talk about my own depression, the theory is that it's more entertaining for you and equally depressing to me. The other thing, too, there's another article where they're saying, see the first COVID-19 vaccine given to a New York healthcare worker. I don't need to see that. I know what it looks like for somebody to receive a vaccine, and they say the vaccines are rolling out, and it's great that we're documenting this, but this seems a little bit. We're here with the first person to get the COVID-19 vaccine, and we want to take an opportunity to show you around this person's house and their car. It looks like this person drinks a lot of vitamin water. And this person, we're also going to look at the genetic makeup of this person, and we're going to sleep with this person too. We're going to, on air, we're going to have sex with the first person to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, and we're going to document that, and we're going to be live tweeting the sex. And this is truly a historic day in the fight against COVID. And then after we have sex, we're going to have some toast. And what kind of toast will it be? Find out on CNN. Will it be white toast? Will it be Melba toast? We don't even know if Melba is a toast. Will it be wheat? Notice how we said wheat instead of wheat, which is a Family Guy bit that we're kind of doing a callback to. Join us on CNN as we look at how our callbacks relate to the Family Guy callbacks. And let's get the opinion on that from the first person who got COVID-19 vaccine, who is now, by the way, a CNN commentator. Let's go to this person. What do you think about Family Guy humor? I don't know. I just got the vaccine. I don't think I should be. I'm not a broadcaster. Tell us, what do you think about voter fraud? Do you think it's real? It's not? Discuss. I literally just got something injected into me. That's all I know. Please stop asking me. Yeah. I was listening to Kathleen Madigan's podcast, and she was commenting on the news. And I thought, well, I can comment on the news because I, too, am a 30-year headlining comedian with a massive following. Meghan Markle makes surprise appearance on CNN. How is this news? How is this news? And how is it was it really a surprise appearance on CNN? Well, let me look it up and read the article. She made an unscheduled appearance on CNN's Heroes Sunday to honor the year's most inspiring moments and the people who made them happen. Unscheduled. So you mean to tell me, I don't believe unscheduled. That must mean that maybe they got her at the last minute or something, but when I hear what that means is that they're in the CNN. I was about to say chamber, which implies that they're wizards. We are the wizards of CNN. We have the ability to take something that is not at all a news story and make it the biggest story ever. Ancient spirits of CNN. Make this one-line anecdote into a major breaking news story. But if this was truly unscheduled, they'd be in the Situation Room. Wolf Blitzer is doing his report, and then just out of the blue, Meghan Markle just walks on camera. Wait a minute, Meghan Markle? And she's like, yeah, I decided to just weigh in on this. How did you get past our security? I'm Meghan Markle, that's how. I'm the Duchess of Sussex. I told them that they must move. I wish to speak. Well, all right, what would you like to say? I would like to say that I have had a conversation with the very first person to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And as it so happens, This person was a big fan of The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins, felt that the original Tim Burton Batman movie was pretty good, thought Batman Returns was okay, not a fan of the Schumachers. I wanted to state that right now on CNN.com. Live in front of the studio, well, there's probably no studio audience, but live in front of your viewers, that the person who got the COVID-19 vaccine, favorite movie was The Dark Knight of all the Batman movies. Doesn't really rate the Batman versus Superman because that's not a solo Batman movie and belongs in a separate category. Thank you, Meghan Markle. Back to the news. Unscheduled. It's got to be a little scheduled. You can't just walk onto the... Google was hit with a massive outage, including YouTube, Gmail, and Google Classroom. Google services went down for an hour on Monday in a massive outage that prevented many people from watching YouTube videos, accessing their Google Docs, or sending email on Gmail. Well, this confirms one of my biggest fears, that one day the internet's just going to go down forever, and everything about us that was on the cloud is going to disappear, and we're suddenly going to go, I don't know any phone numbers, I haven't memorized anything, none of my apps work. I'm in a I think it's called a room. I think it's called a building. I used to know these things, but then I would just ask Google. I'm in a room with boxes and screens. I think they're called screens, and they're off now, and I don't know what to do. There's a thing that it separates one room from the other, and it swings open and closed, and there's a thing on it that you turn, and maybe you turn it, I don't know. I need Siri, hello Siri, help me Siri. And now someone is coming in, so I'm doing this in the office, and so I'm now going to cut this podcast short. Or maybe I'll come back. I'll come back to it. Okay, gonna keep going here. I'm going on Twitter, seeing what's trending on Twitter. Let's take a look at what's trending on Twitter. Twitter Twins. It's a new segment I like to call, Let's Read What's on Twitter. 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 Let's do that right now. Possible new beaked whale species spotted in the Pacific Ocean. It always... can we not discover new animals? Every time we discover new animals, I feel like we just... The very next article after new species discovered is, oh, we killed them all off. I think scientists... If they find something new, they should tell the animal, listen, you need to hide until we're dead. And you'll know that we're dead. There will be there won't be any more Starbucks. That's one sign that we'll be dead. The noise, it'll be a lot quieter. The electoral process will run much more smoothly now that human beings are not involved in any way. And all you'll have to deal with, Siri may still be around. Just, charge your batteries for us. But other than that, you should lay low until we've finished. Lay low until we've killed ourselves. That's my advice to you, strange new whale. Oh my. Oh my, what else? John Le Carre. Am I saying his name right? I think he wrote Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. He died. That's sad. 89. Good run. That I know of. For all I know, he was like, I had 20 more years. But they were taken from me. I like the movie Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Was that the one I saw? Was it the one with Gary Oldman? It was a movie where at any given moment I'm watching a bunch of great British actors talk to each other, and I really don't know what they're talking about or who they're talking about. I just know that it's fraught with tension. There's a lot of tension in the air, and so-and-so might be the mole. No, it's Jim. No, it's Tom. How do you know it's Tom? I did some surveillance. But then, of course, there's Jack. What about Jack? Who's Jack? It would almost be easier in that movie if they just made the names of the characters the names of the actors. Yeah, I think it might be that Benedict Cumberbatch. It'd be easier for me to follow along. That way, whatever their names were, easier to remember that. Who do you think the mole? It could be Gary Oldman, a.k.a. Dracula, a.k.a. Commissioner Gordon. I'm on the entertainment. I don't want to... Let's see. Let me look at what's trending for me. What's trending for me? Fans wish Vanessa Hudgens a happy birthday. Well, good for her. I don't know why Twitter thinks that's for me. I mean, I have nothing wrong. I have nothing against Vanessa Hudgens. I don't know her that well. I don't think I'm really her demographic. Bill Barr, Attorney General William Barr, is leaving the Trump administration, and his deputy will replace him as acting Attorney General. You know, at this point, can they all just... Maybe they should all just leave now. I know technically it's supposed to go until January 21st, but I mean, if they did just drop everything now, I mean, what are they doing anything now? It might just be better if they, it's fine. Just go home early. That's what I want to say. We're all stressed. You're stressed. This has been, it's been hard. It's been hard. Just take the rest of the day off, man. Let's try to heal. Let's try to heal our hearts and minds here. Let's try not to hold grudges. Let's try to be nice. So just take the rest of the day. That's fine. How the Electoral College works. Well, let's take a look. In the United States, Americans don't directly elect the president. The Electoral College does, and it's meeting today to cast votes for the next president of the United States. While the meeting is usually a formality, this year's one has a special significance due to President Donald Trump's bid to subvert the result of the 2020 presidential election. Here's everything you need to know about how the Electoral College works. Well, wait a minute. If Americans don't directly elect the president, the Electoral College does, and it's meeting today to cast the votes, but the meeting is a formality, then do they do it or do they not do it? Although the meeting of the Electoral College is typically a barely noticed formality, this year's meeting is significant as it comes after President Trump's attempts to override the votes of the American people in order to retain power for another term. The plan to subvert the Electoral College relied on Republican state lawmakers in battleground states refusing to ratify the result of the popular vote and replacing the electors with a new set of Trump loyalists who would cast their votes for Trump instead of Biden. However, all key battleground states certify their election results by the safe harbor deadline, which occurs 6 days before the Electoral College votes. States certify their results, and those results are final and must be accepted by Congress. Okay, so this is the second time now I've restarted this podcast. And what's interesting about how this is going to play out is that the first bit was done in the morning, the second bit was done in the afternoon, and the third bit now is done at night. And I imagine you should be able to pretty clearly hear the level of depression increase with each specific version. And my brain just works less and less good the farther along we get. And the plan, all I did was I basically was just kind of trying to look at all these websites like CNN or Twitter and comment on it. Well, you already know that because you listened to the first 2 segments of this. So I'm really just saying that to remind myself of what I was doing. And I've now provided an introduction for something that you've already been listening to for 19 minutes. Win! Ooh, Pornhub just purged all unverified content from the platform. I've been following this story very closely because what's freaking me out about this is that I assumed that everything on there was okay, so I didn't feel guilt while I was watching. And now, apparently, a lot of the videos they're taking off, these are videos that should not be up there. That these are videos that may have shown illegal stuff, and so now I'm feeling very, very guilty. But then I asked myself, why did I trust Pornhub? Why did I go to Pornhub, and Pornhub said, "Don't worry, everything's fine." I was like, I believe you, Pornhub. I think the phrase, "I believe you, Pornhub," is suspect in and of itself. I should have known better. And I should know that if I'm going to go to something like that, I'm probably not dealing with the most reputable. Is that fair, though? Maybe I'm not being fair. Maybe there are porn sites that are run by people of character. And they are people who have values, good old-fashioned American values. And they make doggone sure, they don't even curse. They make doggone sure that everything is above board on their porn site. And when I say above board, there's not some weird double porn meaning in that. Everything is they have dotted their I's and crossed their T's. Problem is, whenever I'm talking about porn, any metaphor I use immediately sounds like it could be a porn. Sort of a non sequitur. I've just eaten French toast, and I am sucking on the last of the syrup. Again, difficult to just talk about that right after mentioning porn. But this is how I know I should not be eating the French toast. There's milk in it. It's going to make me sick. But I'm already sick. I was already sick to my stomach earlier today, having gastrointestinal distress. And sometimes when I already know I'm going to be sick to my stomach, I kind of just double down and say to myself, well, I know I'm going to be sick to my stomach anyway. Why not also have a Snickers bar? Why not also just, if the Titanic's going to sink, the band may as well keep playing. Is that the right comparison? Sure, hopefully it is. But Pornhub apparently just deleted 60% of its content. Is that what it's saying? To be clear, Pornhub just deleted like 60% of all videos on one of the largest porn sites on the internet by flipping a switch. That, by the way, is not, that was somebody tweeting at it. I love this. This person wrote, number of videos on Pornhub started at 13 million, went down to 5, up to 7, now at 4.8. I assume a lot of this is just funky indexing issues. Need to wait for the dust to settle to understand impact. Talking like there was just like this is a major tragedy, which it might be, because I'm probably not the only disgusting dude who feels this way. But we have relationships with certain videos, and sometimes we'll return to them, the old favorites, and that they might not be there now. And now we're going to have to, we're going to have to go back to being alone. But the way that he's describing this, we have to wait for the dust to settle to understand the impact. That's the kind of language you use to talk about the end of democracy. That should be, the Electoral College this, or the, voter fraud that. But no, that they're using this kind of language to deal with a porn site that's discovering, oh, wait a minute, maybe these videos are wrong. Whoops. This is why, by the way, I really don't like to be judgmental, because I genuinely am freaking out over what if I watched something that wasn't verified, and I don't like the feeling of that. I really I don't like the feeling of that at all. The question is, do I not like the feeling of that to never watch porn again? And the answer is, I haven't had sex in 6 years. So I'm doing the best I can. Truly am. But I'm going to say that it's the responsibility. No. God. I was about to say, I'm going to say that it's the responsibility of the website to make sure that they don't put anything bad up there. But then again, if I'm looking at the stuff, am I not part of the problem? And I guess I am. So this is something else I get to feel guilty about. And that's what I like to do when I'm recording a podcast. I like to start off by trying to be funny, actually think about what I'm saying, find a way to feel guilty about it, and then beat myself up, all while recording the podcast so that you can hear it. This podcast, in a weird way, is audio torture porn, self-torture porn. That's what this podcast is at this point. And yes, I'm still licking all of the syrup, which, again, in this conversation, it's not helping. It's good syrup, though. Why is it good syrup? Because it has sugar in it. Is there better syrup? Probably. I'm sure a syrup connoisseur would say, well, this is the cheap syrup. But I don't care. It's got enough processed sugar in it for it to be pretty good. And that's me suddenly quoting Larry David. Really? We're doing that? All right, so basically what I did here was because like I said at the beginning of this, Kathleen Madigan was kind of reading stuff from the news and commenting on it, and I tried to do the same thing too, because she doesn't have the copyright on commenting on the news. Other people can do it. Can they do it as well? Well, I think we know the answer to that. A palm oil alternative could help save rainforests. I think I'd make the argument that the coronavirus is a palm oil alternative. Not having a human race, that'll save the rainforest right there. A synthetic palm oil alternative. And how does that synthetic alternative destroy the environment, I wonder? What is that synthetic alternative? What do you have to do to generate the synthetic alternative, I would wonder? Probably burn down a different forest. Don't worry, it's a conifer forest. No one gives a crap about those. No monkeys are there, so no one cares. Those are just a bunch of squirrels. They'll be fine. They'll just move to the suburbs. All right, well, this has turned into 30 minutes, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm feeling pretty good about this podcast. I enjoyed myself, except for the parts where I was beating myself up. And even then, maybe I enjoyed that a little bit too. And now you're understanding how kinky I am. Great. And now I get to wonder, if I post this, am I going to be canceled? That's my fear. Which is probably and I feel guilty about saying that, because there are people who really do need to be canceled. And by me joking, am I being canceled, my fear is that I'm in a way taking the power away from the people who do the canceling, or I'm taking the power away from people who need to be canceled for legitimate reasons by quipping that I should be canceled, which in turn should make me even more canceled, even though I really don't believe I should be canceled. I think I'm a good enough person to not be canceled. And now I'm terrified I'm going to get canceled again. This is my brain. This is how I live. Back and forth between guilt and hopelessness. Guilt, hopelessness, try to enjoy myself. Guilt, hopelessness, try to enjoy myself. This is just Judaism.